Hey guys, today's an exciting day, like most days, but today I think we'll be able to finish off this piece. We'll see. We will see. Now. Okay. Swipe that there. One person here. I always love it when there's one person hanging out. For some reason, like someone can hear, I need someone to grab me from behind and squeeze. Click. My solar plexus. You know how to grab you and like lift you up and boom. That's what I need right here, right now. A good grip. Exactly. Pink. It tells me once again you're about to lose your subscription benefits. All those crazy, wonderful benefits. Lovely to see you, by the way. Hey, Jay Smith. Was I on time? I think I was 15 minutes early. Which is exciting. Excuse me. I've been a little bit naughty. I'm looking at the data on YouTube. Have you now? No, I mean, I'm looking at the data on YouTube. Yeah, analytics, very fun, because we upload the lives there, and it says, yeah, this is a fun one thing. Ooh. I swear, I'm going to be doing this a lot today. This is getting me good. What is wrong with, oh, I see. My phone just died. Good night. We'll plug that back. I'm back, I think. Are we back? And we're back. Sorry for disappearing, guys. Super awkward. What happened was the phone did die, but it was plugged into a charger. And the idea behind the charger was that I thought the speed in which the phone was charging would beat the pace in which it used up. It was not the case. So, to fix that problem, I've got a more powerful charger. So now, it's going to be fine. But the one before could not keep up. It was on 0%, so it was like, it wasn't going to make it. Ah, the camera stayed for a bit. That's cool. That's fun. Wonder how that works. Oh well. Exciting. That is 5th Avenue. Chrissy, Miss Jasmine, welcome. Here we go. There we go. You're scared. What are you scared for? Technology. Sam, hello. Alright. Hello, Ryan. Welcome in straight away. Now, I've got an exciting idea. We don't normally do this, but I think it's a fun new idea. So, I have this canvas here. This is the canvas. This canvas here is absolutely beautiful. I love it. On the back, see here, this is New Zealand ash wood, so it's made out of some really good quality stuff. Hey Ray, hey Andy. And then this fabric here as well, if you look at it up close, I'll bring it right up here to you. This is unprimed canvas. Unprimed means it's raw, completely raw. On top of it, it's got one coat of clear gesso soaking in through the canvas, and then 2 coats of our primal to make sure it's nice and flat. That's what we've got here. So it's completely ready to paint on. Now, I love this size of canvas. This is also a custom size of canvas. It's just the right size so it matches my body. Everything's to the point. Hello GC. Yes, I did. I did shave. How wild of me. but it was getting too fluffy, so we made the right decision. Okay, sorry, Pink. Yes, the idea I have in mind was I've set today's goal to a wild, wild thing. It's a dragon. You may think that's silly, but what I'm thinking is that if anyone would like, if anyone would like to have their picture painted on this canvas, you don't get the artwork, but you can watch it be made. I'm going to leave this here. Right here. And then, if you go for it, you can email me the picture, and I will paint it. Fun, fun, fun. I like that idea, right, Sam? Not everyone wants to own a piece of art, but it could be fun to see how we do it. And that open field. Just, of course, guys, the rule is obviously if it's got to be appropriate for TikTok. Has to be appropriate for TikTok. So you can't just send. Yeah, you gotta have some common sense. Use your brain there. Now, what I will do is I'll put this here. Dun, 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 dun. Quick poll, lightning Q&A. It's none of those things. Enhance stickers. Bing, bang, boom. This one here. Oh, that's fun. Does it just start with that? Let's go like this. Is that working? No, it's not working. There we go. I wonder how long that stays there for. Correct. Hello, Gabriel. So I will, to get the email, is, and I've got a printer here set up as well, so we're all good to go. So I'll throw my email up when someone jumps on it, and we'll go for gold. So, but yeah, other than that, this is an absolutely lovely canvas. And also, if you do love the work, if you ask for it, you get first chance to have it, which I think is only fair, right? That's fair. So, first colour we're kicking off with, Naphthol Crimson, mixed into our darker shades. Where's that black hiding? Just combine it into here. Hello, Taylor, how are we doing? And Jason, hello. Who's that there? Perry Diamond. There we go. That brush is not going to be accurate enough. We need an accurate brush. Perfect. That's the one we're after. Okay. Teeny bit of this. Teeny bit to make paint flow. Pink. We are using absolutely everything. Everything we can. This is a wild day. We're doing what we can to bring this work to its final stages. We may get there today. I'm hoping to get there today, but we will see. We will see. We will see. Erica's asking to join the live. Sorry, Erica. I've never seen your profile before. Unless it's Erica who bought the Beethoven, in which case I would love to see you again. It's been too long. There we go. Sneak this in here. I think you're one of my new favourite artists. Oh, thanks, Perry Diamond. You're welcome here anytime. Mm. Here we are. Keyless? Yes, I do. Selling the art's how I stay afloat. Put food in my belly, a roof over my head. All the really important stuff. Eric is determined. Thanks, Ray. Appreciate that. There we go. We're in capture mode here. Because you paint in stages, for the paint to dry, question mark, I'm not following. Do I wait for the paint to dry? Sometimes, not all the time. You do wet on wet. Keep painting. One layer over the next, over the next. That's always fun. Thanks, Jake. Appreciate you. And yes, it is a city scene. Looks amazing. Really coming together tonight. Tara, hello. Dana, you miss home. I miss home too. I agree, Dana. Home is where the heart is. That's what they say. Wouldn't it be nice if we invented teleportation? Wouldn't it be nice if for 1 hour or 15 minutes every day we could teleport back to our home and spend time with our loved ones on the other side of the world, down the street even? Wouldn't it be nice? I'd love that. I'd go home, do that briefly. In some ways, sometimes a piece of art can do that for you too. Or a treasure you've got, you know, maybe something your mum gave you or your father gave you. Or a movie or a song. Maybe a picture. Would it be nice if, I do like that, you look at something that reminds you of a place and it brings you back to that place. Erica is determined to join this live. It's not happening, Erica. I've never seen your name before. Yes, for sure. NYC is so expensive right now and I can't go back. I hear that. I hear that. In fact, a lot of the friends I had in New York City had big commutes to get in and out of the town. She's tried 3 times. Or he. Determination. Yeah, the colours in this one are very, very fun. And to think we're not even finished yet. I do love the fact that people look at this one and see, no, Cindy, I'm also so sorry about that. That was ridiculous. I actually had to exit the live and come back into it to try and stop that music from playing. And it was all on. I wouldn't mind a bit of music. It'd be fun if we had a music session. So at some point in the day, we'd do like a 50-minute one with tons of movement, and just see what that created on the surface of a canvas. I'd enjoy that. Gotta go, happy creating. I love that. It was fun for a bit. How many things do we say that about? And Quatobi, catch you later. Catch you later. I'm curious, do you have a favourite painter or art movement? No. Don't. I like Picasso and Van Gogh. I like the classics. Honestly, guys, art movements are just a funny, formal way of turning art into stories. And I feel like what we're really looking for when we look at artists and art movements, we sort of know what we like. We can find it all over the show, but I think we're looking for a compelling story. Something that moves us, something that we really enjoy. Crazy gay uncle, welcome back. Praying for your shirt. Dana, me too. I'm in love with this shirt, and it's an absolute pleasure to wear it on live. But if we ruin it, we ruin it. And I love that risk factor too. It wouldn't be one of my favourite shirts if we weren't running the risk of possibly ruining it. That's the dream I like to live. Alright. It's like, you protect it too much. Like, sometimes I remember when you go to a store, who's been to a store and bought a really nice shirt or jacket, like a really, really nice one, like, not out of your budget maybe, but not typically what you would buy, just super nice. And then because it's super nice, you never really wore it, and so you may have worn it 3 or 4 times, but by the time you'd actually started deciding you would wear it, it had already gone outside its, it had lost that allure and that spark that you originally had for it, or it had stopped fitting you because you'd changed size. Thanks for Draco. That's a fun one, Crazy Guy Uncle. I enjoyed that. This is just a happy accident. Yeah, you know what? It could be pretty fun to do some paintings on shirts. So, when I say paintings on shirts, it could be pretty fun to get some nice shirts, you know, some nice fabric shirts, and just do some quite fast, abstract kind of works on them, and then solidify them onto the shirt with a painting shirt techniques. But it'd be pretty fun. It'd be pretty fun. Here we go. Let's see down here. Just a bit tad low there maybe. But we'll work up high and maybe we'll adjust it. Let's go up here. No, I've never ever done face. Oh, actually, at a restaurant when I was very young, when I was in about 14 years old, I used to go into the restaurant, and once a week for a couple of bucks I would have a little face painting stand, and I'd do butterflies and tigers and all sorts. Really fun. Have a leather jacket that looks like it has a painting on the back. I wish hang that way. That's cool. That's cool. I've got a, it's funny you say leather jacket, because that's where my experience comes from when I talk about having a garment that you never wear. I spent 800 New Zealand dollars. Maybe it was closer to 900 New Zealand dollars on a jacket. It's not like me, guys. We know I shop from op shops now, but this is a different me. And I bought this jacket. I mean, if we wanted to get into it a bit deeper, lots of compliments. You championed that. Fantastic. Marwan never got me any compliments, but I thought it was the greatest thing ever. So what did I do? I hardly ever wore it. Hardly ever wore it. And the joke behind it is, not only did I not get compliments when I wore it, I hardly ever wore it, and I just don't know why I spent all that money on that. I should have gone to an op shop, a second-hand shop. I should have bought a jacket for $20, and then I should have got the rest of that money, and I should have donated it to Youthline. So, lesson learned. But anyway, hey JB, how you doing? I don't know what you did, but I'm so surprised how fast it looks complete. It's not complete yet. It's quite wild up close, and we've got another, would you believe it, maybe 14 pigments to add. Subtle. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And actually, did you guys ever see the Lani painting? I'm going to grab Lani for you. Hold on. This is when we talk about inspiration and motivation for painting. This painting embodies that. It's very, very large, so I want to zoom you right out if I can. Right the way out. There we go. And I'm going to bring it into the shot. There we go. Now, I have this painting back in my possession at the moment because I'm going to get it framed, and the person it belongs to is in the process of moving house. So I've ended up back with it in my possession. Very, very lucky to have it back. And I want to show this to you because this is one of those stories that's really, really important. Here we go. This is it here. So I can just go over the top. This is how big it is. It's literally, here's me standing up tall. I can just get my head over the top. So bring it up here. That's the whole work. Now I'm gone. Now the reason why this is a special work, this is one of my, I don't have favourites. This is one of my favourites. The reason it's such a special work is Lani's, the character in this picture here, is no longer with us, and the painting was done for her mother. Now, there's a horse rider here pulling along a character, Lani, on a wakeboard. You can see the rope here and the horse heading off in the distance, and you can see the GoPro stick going down the bottom. So it's not as if we've captured a photo moment. It's as if she has taken the photo, she's grabbed the moment, and we're depicting her moment, which I love. And the water, huge amount of movement as she travels. So the reason why this one's really special, and when I talk about a story that we love, is this one here. Half the proceeds of this one, of course we paid off the canvas, etc. Half the proceeds of the total cost went to Youthline, which is a charity. And I love that because I feel like that did a lot of good. And that's where we come down to talking about not just how an individual painting can make you feel. Because yes, a painting can bring love and happiness into your life, but when it comes to paintings being able to give back with cash to charities, that's something that really moves me, because aside from the emotional impact and the vitality that it would be so nice for us to be able to give the world, a picture like that is able to actually get physical cash and give it back to charities and actually make a difference to hopefully save more lives. So, big fan of that. Let's zoom you back in so you can actually see what's going on with New York. Here we go. Is that on the right spot? That looks like the right spot. Here we go. Fantastic. Thanks, Peace. Well, look, that was actually when I started the project. I said, look, I'm happy to do this, but I want half of it to go to Youthline. So that's really cool. And what's really cool about that too is Youthline actually called me and said, hey, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. And I said, don't thank me, thank the however many ladies pitched in. Crazy gay uncle. I think you were late, but first off, you're an absolute legend. There is a surprise for you. I said at the start of the stream, down here, I said I'm going to put one dragon up. One dragon. And the person who puts the dragon through this canvas here gets to choose what gets painted on this canvas. So this canvas here has been primed. It's been stretched already. Fancy, amazing canvas, unprimed. I love this stuff. And ash wood, huge fan. On the front, it's had its gesso coat and 2 layers, so the surface is completely ready to be painted on. And you get to pick what goes on it. Now, Uncle, you are in no hurry. I'll be here for hours. But while we're painting here, choose something, anything, to go on this. It can't. Your other. I should bear in mind that for the commission piece, I do have a canvas already ready to go for that, and it's cedar. It's incredible. So let me know, because this one here has your name on it. You don't get to keep the artwork itself, but you can decide what we paint. I like that. Here we go. All right. Now, let's have a look-see here. We're going to keep adding these blues into this picture, all the way down through here. Fantastic. White collar, I'm glad. We're going to keep adding little tabs, build it up. I was thinking, when I first started painting this picture, thinking, wouldn't it be nice if just by looking at it, we could get a little bit of the vibe of New York City? Not with intense lights everywhere, but just with the way paint landed, you can see the formation of a city. Subtle lights, reflections, bustling metro atmosphere. And I won't say I was unsure, but I was thinking about it in terms of, it's a cityscape. Usually we're doing landscapes. This is new. How are we going to get on? What's going to happen? Will we capture it in a wild way, like we usually use paints, where it looks chaotic and primal like a wild landscape, or jetscape, or will it take more of a blocky city form? And I think it's landed somewhere in the middle. Boo-hoo, I'm very sorry. This is a commission for a guy named Chad. It's his photo. And what I love is, although it's a city with its straight lines, horizontal and vertical, and its perspective dragging towards a point, you can clearly see it dragging in and ending about here actually, as all the perspective heads out. What does that mean? It hasn't actually fallen into that bucket and adhered to that. It's allowed itself to have individuality in each one of the paint strokes. So it's a cityscape without these gory perspective lines controlling the city. It has more, is fluidity, more flow, more natural nature to it, but not too much. That would lose the cityscape. So, thanks George Press. You love my art. Thanks, Peace. Appreciate that. You know what the most important thing is if you're an artist? Is to love your own art too. You have to love what you make. And when I first started painting, when I was doing it in art school, well back, when was that? 2011. 2011, when I was in art school, I didn't like my own art. And it's funny because that sounds outrageous to say it out loud. You'd be like, what do you mean you didn't like your own art? I didn't like it. I didn't think it was me, but I was doing it because I thought if I did it in that way, someone else might like it. Without realizing that fundamentally, for art to be great, if you love it, if the artist loves it, not only does it change the end product, but your enthusiasm, your inspiration towards what you make, if you actually care about it, others will be able to feel that, and they'll like it more for that. So, luckily, you learn things like that in philosophy. If I hadn't done philosophy, I'd be so caught up wondering what I should be to please everyone, not realizing that that thing that I should be is just natural. And sorry, let's pull this off here. And I have philosophy and art history to thank for that. Ghost in the Shell vibe. Is Ghost in the Shell that anime show? I haven't seen it, but it's a very unrealistic goal as well. Artists find out eventually. Yeah, see. But just like a child, for example, if you had a child, when they make you a mug or a picture, even though the picture isn't a great work from Picasso, do you still love it? You do. You find joy in it. And that same joy you find in a child's picture, excuse me while I pull these off, that same joy you find in a child's picture, this is the same as you can feel towards your own work. Even when it's not great, you can get joy from it, knowing that you created it for you. That's important. You give it value. You wish you had your earlier works. I guess we can get hung up on that. I'm glad I don't have my earlier works. I'm glad I continue to grow and change, and sometimes I like to look back, but on the whole, we're back. Sorry guys. I've got to confess, I've got no idea what I did there. Don't know how I broke it. I was touching the screen, which is highly risky because I'm doing it again, but something I touched made it very upset and it just shut down. Next thing, as I was looking at the screen, it just said shutting down. So that was wild. There we go. Anyway, there's a little treasure box as an apology. Are paint materials expensive in New Zealand? Yes, they are. They're expensive anywhere you go. It's the same as doing anything. We had a saying, I heard of a saying. It's the old cowboy saying. Some of you will like this, some of you won't. Hit me with it, crazy gay uncle, I'm excited. Some of you will like the saying, some of you won't. The saying is, good saddles ain't cheap, but cheap saddles ain't good. Shedding sorrow. Shedding sorrow. That's interesting. Shedding sorrow. It's got me intrigued. It's definitely got me intrigued. I'll put this up here. Let's put here and go. Oh, that's interesting. There. You do get your paper, especially in the show. So when you say shedding sorrow, is that a theme that we want to work to? Or do you have a particular image in mind of shedding sorrow? Can go through multiple ideas. If shedding sorrow is your favourite, I'm on board with it 100%. I'm on board with it 100%. You've got an image, perfect. Okay, so what I'll put up here, bear with me for a second, I'm going to go enhance, stickers. Oh, you've already got my email actually, so jump on my email, Crazy Gay Uncle, and flip me through the image. And I will print it off. And we will go from there. I'm excited. Not a favourite, just a first. Alright, alright, if it's not the favourite, keep loading me. Tell me. Tell me more. We could even, if you'd like to, we can put it to a vote on the stream, which is fun. We got all sorts of options. There we go. Image in my mind. All right. All right. Image in your mind, not a photo. I like that. Do you want to describe the image to us? Tell us what you're thinking of. Saw the elephant the other day. That one was incredible. Thanks, Scott. I appreciate that. We're going to bring out the elephant for a bit more today, I think. There we go. Let's put a little bit more down here. Left is sorrow, right is joy. I like that. So there's this contrast running through the middle of the canvas. Or a harmony as it crosses over. Or maybe we leave it ambiguous enough that both can be argued. Okay. Do we have people in the canvas, or is it a little more abstract? Focus the center is transforming and moving towards joy. Okay. So we start with sorrow, and then we move into joy. I like that. We're starting with sorrow, we're moving into joy. Left to right, same direction that the Western world reads. I like that too. A figure. Alright, I like this, so it's personified. Do we have one figure? Or do we have two? I suppose if we have two, it's more of a versus situation. Whereas if we have one, it's a changing situation. Can you add a JB on one of the marquees, JB? Unfortunately, I can't. Unfortunately, I can't. Perfect. All right. From sorrow to joy. And the question too, just up here, shedding sorrow. Okay, so the work would be called Shedding Sorrow. Is that correct? The work's called Shedding Sorrow. Why don't you paint with why do you paint with closed shoes on? Because they're comfy and we do a lot of standing. Here we go. Here we are. This will go in here. You kind of new to this? That's totally okay. Let me take you on a journey, crazy gay uncle. What I will do is to understand the compositional elements that we want to use. I'll find the perfect character to define shedding sorrow. I think the interesting part of happiness and sorrow is that there's natural elements to it. And since it's natural elements, does he see the messages? Moonlight, he does. This is Fifth Ave. Fifth Ave is Broadway, right? Correct, team? Since it'll have natural elements, we might default towards that natural colour palette and stay away from the sort of infernal reds, unless we're adding into the vitality of joy and happiness. But we'll see. We will see. I'm excited. I am excited. This is going to be fun. There we go. Shooting sorrow. I'm imagining something with a lot of movement too. Not so cheesy as an exploding out or something, but movement in the action. So it feels like there is a shedding occurring in the movement of a character. I like that. I like that. Let's just get this in here. Here we go. Just joined your live. The painting's beautiful. Yes, thank you, Jason. This is the, it's Broadway, so it's very, very close to Times Square. But I like that we're getting those vibes from it. It's so, so important. It means we're on the right track for a big part of this. And we're doing some lighter impasto techniques to get those last little touch points on there. So impasto means a little bit more texture. It's creeping into the way we're applying the brush strokes. And it's very, very well good. Yeah, I can see that. It does. It plays with your eyes. You look up and you see black. But then when you look down, you see so many street lights hitting the street, so much illumination that it does without looking up. New York City feels like like it's in the middle of daytime, even at 4 a.m. in the morning. There we go. Perfect. We can come on down here, splice in here, just the littlest bit. Slugs of colour. That's what's important. Okay. Beautiful pigmentation in this blue. Has the most phenomenal pop to it. Let me have a little look-see there. Yeah. Now the next thing I need, not so much the next thing as it is the current thing. Here we go. A little bit of Venetian pink. A little bit of primary red. We haven't actually used primary red yet. This is the first time we're adding primary red to the picture. Bedtime in Nashville, that's all good. See you later, JB. How's everything going? Everything is going good. Here we go. And now we've got some black, Mars black, and we've got some white as well. With a combination of those two, we are going to make some of the softer colours, the more muted tones that are in this picture. Here we go. How much is it going to cost? This one here. This one here is a commission. So this one here is already sold. It no longer exists on the market. There's a lot of white there. There we go. But if you'd like to get a cost on commissions, let me know the size and where you are in the world, and I'll come back to you with a quote. There we go. A lot of pure white. There's a teeny bit of black through it, but for the most part, this is just titanium white now going on this picture. With all its beautiful pop that it can give. Hey Daly, how you doing? 7 subs away from the goal. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Man, I reckon we'll hit I reckon we'll hit that amount of subscribers when we do our picture. Cannot wait. Canvas down here, ready to go. It's going to be fun. I'm good. I'm good. We've got a very, very interesting piece coming up. It's going to have probably the greatest level of visual contrast that we've added onto a picture for a long time. With one side with one colour palette, and the other side with something completely new. Cheers, the confetti. That's fun. So, prepare yourselves for something. But before we do it, we are finishing off. Thanks, Peace. And thanks, Crazy Uncle. You're both absolute champions for the support. We are finishing off this picture of New York. If we do get to a point where it's too thick, we might just run off on a side quest. Being this canvas. But for now, for right now, exactly where we need to be on this piece. There we go. I'm learning how to paint. Oh, that's fantastic. I am glad. You more than welcome to be here. Remember, that if you want to be a great painter, make sure you love it. You can learn all the craft in the world, but it won't get you there. You have to genuinely love what you're making. If you genuinely love it, that last little oomph that you sometimes see great artworks lacking, you'll have it. That little thing that shows that you had passion in what you're making. You cared for it beyond it just being a craft. You wanted to make something special. Capture emotion onto a surface. I can see a small mouse across the street. Jeepers. I can't see the mouse, but I'm glad you can. Here we go. Going into the greys now. We're adding ever so slight transparency to the gel. Only the tiniest bit, just to make it run nicely for me as well. You could almost say it wasn't even there. Robo Keisha. I'm not quite sure what that means. Right. Where else are we going? Some long lines just cutting down this building here. Yeah. Ghost in the Shell reference. Is this giving you Ghost in the Shell vibes, is it? Are you the person bringing up those vibes before? Or are you the second person who's had some Ghost in the Shell vibes? Because I'm getting the impression that I need to go watch Ghost in the Shell. No, you can keep going. I don't get it, but does anyone here watch Ghost in the Shell? Can you watch it? Is it a TV series? Here we go. Please watch it and just share your opinion on art. I share my opinion on art every single day about how much I believe you should get behind what you do with love and passion, and how art has the ability, I believe this, that art has the ability to create feelings inside people. Just like music, we can measure the effects that music has on you. Mozart, Beethoven. In that same way, a well-made painting that is made in a way where the artist has successfully, I say successfully, transposed joy or some sort of emotion onto a canvas. And we can look at that canvas and in a small way feel it. Do you have to keep the room a certain temperature? That's a good question. No. No. There are certain temperatures where paint will work better, and understanding those temperatures are somewhat important. But they don't stop you from painting. Don't think for a second, I'm not going to paint today because my room is 3 degrees too warm. The humidity will change the pace in which the paint dries. Don't let that stop you. I'm not going to paint today because the humidity is too high. When you're dealing with emotions, you don't have time to say to yourself, I'm not going to paint today because the room's slightly off the right temperature. As soon as you're in the mindset where you're ready to get in there and paint, don't let anything stop you. You run into that chaos, and that if you're outside, you're already dealing with wind and rain and all these wild cards. So the very fact the studio is a few degrees too hot, who cares? Who cares? Obviously, it's important to understand how it will affect your paint, especially if you do realism art. But if it stops you painting, there's less of a problem with the humidity and more of a problem with your attitude towards humidity. There we go. Mm-hmm. There we are. Get those details into the street. And down here. Perfect. Picture matrix. Picture matrix. Now, as I paint here, I'm giving my visual attention to this work, but I can't help to have my mind racing. It's crazy gay uncle's idea. Can't help it. And I'm seeing something quite special. Touches of paint, slightly thicker, so that different angles that you look at it from give you a different impression. No, 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 no. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Excitement and anticipation can only help whatever you're currently doing. It's only adding more vigour into the work we're currently making. If anything, being a catalyst for this work. Yeah. So at the moment, the last few effects on this canvas are in pasto, thicker as it hits the canvas, but when we do the other work, because we'll want to do it in a session, we start, we paint, and we finish. Because we're doing it in a single session, impasto will be key to run over the top at the end with bold, uncontrolled, untamable lumps of colour. Or soft blips, like what we're doing now, little individual moments. Impasto is not always giant, thick strokes. Sometimes impasto is softer, subtler. There we go. A little more through here. Hello, Massimi. Massimi? Massimi. There we go. As we come down the sides of this tower. Sophia. How long has Sid been a painter for? There's a couple of milestones there. I know some people who have been painters for arguably 20 years who still don't call themselves painters. I've been a full-time painter for maybe 3 years. I was a part-time painter for maybe 5, and then I was a painter out of art school, during art school, at university doing philosophy and art history, and prior to that in high school and then through primary school, painting. Painting, painting, painting. Painting, painting, painting. That's what I love. It's what I do. You know it's what you do when you're laying there in bed and it's not exhausting you to think about it. When it's therapeutic to think about it. When you're thinking about layers, how you'll tackle it, What's to come next? The best way to capture more expression, more emotion, more depth, more character onto a surface. It keeps me up, team. Keeps me up all the time. Can I bring more movement? Can I bring different colours? Can I bring different surfaces? Can I alter this? Can I alter that? Can I dream in this way? What can I do to better get in the mindset to be ready to paint? What is that mindset? You ask all these questions all the time. Laying in bed, thinking. The satisfaction comes when you make a step in the right direction, and then another, and then another. Can you imagine how satisfying that is? Here we go. Favourite painter or artist? I like Monet's story. I like Van Gogh's story. Van Gogh. I like his story. I like... What else do I like? Monet. Monet's the sort of artist who, when you first see, you don't think a whole lot of. You're like, okay, so he used colour. Doesn't really do it for me. And then, the more you see it, the more it grows on you. And then you start to crave it. And then comes the obsession. And then you get to the stage, if you're studying art history, where you don't feel like you can talk about colour without mentioning Van Gogh. Dangerous stage to be at. But you do this stage. I'm still in that stage. I'll let you know if I ever get out of it. I'm not such a fan of Pollock's work, only because I'm not so invested in his story. Andy Warhol, again, I like him. But again, not so invested in his story. May, do I like Bob Ross? Of course I like Bob Ross. I can always get on board with anyone whose goal is to spread more love in the world. That is fantastic. Of course you'll love Bob Ross. Bob Ross. What a guy. I paint by numbers, that's all good. You do you. And do you draw first or go straight into painting? Troll. Straight into painting. Sometimes we'll do some quick lines, but straight into painting. Just love your energy. Thanks, CJ Roberts. Appreciate that. I hope by being here and spending time with you, wouldn't it be nice if some of those energies, positivity, general jovial outlook, what if I could rub that off onto as many people as possible? What if that was possible? If that was possible, I believe it is. I think that's why I come here every day. in the hope that I can make it more and more possible. Here we go. This comes the whole way up here. Not sure. BR. Oh, Bob Ross. First off, you take that back right now. There we go. Appreciate it, Blitter. Appreciate it. Now, let's grab this color. Let's smite it. There we go. Comes the whole way up there. Yeah. See these little dots. We land them in the right place. We'll start seeing the formation of cars, or we'll effectively lose definition. It depends on how well we can place dots. Be a Nice Human. First off, incredible name, and you are more than welcome to be here with a name like that. Who's the lucky owner of this painting? This painting is on its way to a gentleman called Chad. Chad's actually the same individual, for those who've been around for a while, who ordered a City Different. I shouldn't say ordered. I don't like the word order. It's like I've demanded it. Me and Chad worked together on a project called the City Different. CJ Roberts, I love you to bits. Thanks for joining the team, you absolute champion. And you've now got access to the Discord, where we hope to see you shortly. I can't believe it. We had a goal like 5 days ago. We were hoping to make 30 subscribers. We're almost halfway there to 40. It blows me away. It blows me away to come on here and spend time with you, and how well, through a digital medium, we can connect. I've always known that when you go to an art gallery, in the right form, you go into an art gallery or someone's house and there's art around the walls, and there's someone there who can show you why it's meaningful or welcome you in there in a way to help you understand the journey of that art better, that you could feel something, that you could really get vitality or happiness out of those pictures, or whatever emotion they were looking to convey. But I also think it's special that even though this artwork here isn't going to your home, I think it's really special that as I make this artwork and Chad receives it and he has his artwork there on his wall and he can appreciate it for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, however long he has the work for, he can appreciate it. Everyone here can come on the journey of the piece, and I think that's really inclusive and I think that's really fun. So yeah. Anyway, sorry, sidetrack. What would Monet say about my work? That's a good question. What would Monet say about my work? Monet would say, first off, he'd be gutted that he missed a time in history where we were able to go into a store and purchase however many colours we wanted, whenever we wanted. And purple was cheap, possibly one of the cheapest colours. That would have blown him away. I would love to take Monet into paint. So I'd say, look, Monet, forget my paintings. I want to show you something cool. And I'd take him into that paint store and I'd be like, look at this. This is what, as artists, we do now. We walk into the store, we choose out whichever colours we want, and we take them home. So you don't have to buy them in bulk. No, we don't, Monet. You can get any colour you want. Any colour you want, Monet. They've got Naples yellow? Of course they do. Royal purple? Of course they do. Aquamarine blue? Of course they do. And imagine if you saw this. This, to Monet, would be like, this is like the holy grail for an artist. Today, it's nothing special. It's a bunch of paintbrushes, it's scissors, and it's a whole bunch of paint tubes, 54 different pigments. Why would Monet find that the holy grail? Because pigments were hard to come by. And if he saw all of that, I'd say, look, the other cool thing, Monet, is those tubes there, they'll last for years. They'll just sit there. And if you want to use it, come to it. Don't worry about it. It won't dry out, go stale, do anything. It's right there. He'd be stuttering. I would. If I was in his position, I'd be stuttering. And then the paintbrushes, you've got what, maybe 4 or 5 different kinds of paintbrushes, like bristle-wise. Again, Monet would be looking at those paintbrushes going, these are pretty cool. So that'd be really fun. Have you ever painted rice harvesting? Yes, in the old days. I did a few shots of that. Characters in rice fields. I'd like to do more of them, to be honest. One day. Alright. Stand back for a brief moment. How are we going? Doing good here. I'm just going to look at this. Just go like this. Here we go. Okay. How do we feel? Let me just look at it from a distance here. Okay. We're going to pause there on this one. Pausing there. Let's do a little bit more of that actually. Hold on. More here. Go. Do I consider abstract painting as an art? Andy. You say, do I consider abstract painting? Is abstract painting art? I think abstract art is art, just like AI art is art. So now we're saying, do you believe a subcategory of art is art? Of course I do. Does art come in different levels? Of course it does. Should every level be respected and have its own intrigue and importance? Of course it should. Should we discredit things just because they don't fit into our own personal beliefs of what we think art should be? Sounds like it's a dangerous philosophy, full stop. And if you don't like it, you don't have to buy abstract art. My voice is an echo. Okay. I think that's really cool. You don't have to endorse the art. But you do have to let it be. That's so important. If you don't like it, let it be. My God, the amount of people who don't like something and have to put their hand up and let the world know they don't like it. When not only is that it not hurting anyone, but they could have just let it be. I think we all need to practice, especially things that aren't hurting anyone, practice letting them be. And then if you can go this deep, to celebrate, not the fact you don't like it, the fact that someone does, even though you don't have to. I think there's a good lesson in that. Here we go. I thought I was finished with this colour, but I just keep seeing things. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Right. Are we done now? Just a bit more of this. Keep thinking I'm on the cusp of being in a happy place with it. And I'm like, oh, just a bit more there, just a bit more there. There we go. Alright. And down here. Now we're landing paint. Now we're landing paint. There we go. Wolfie, hello and low. Welcome to the team. When is a painting done for you? Well said. Thanks, Linda. I'd love to do an animation of one of your picks. Absolutely. Go for gold. Sorry guys, I got a little bit caught up in this colour. I was seeing things up here and I just started adding them, and I'm going to be honest with you, I ignored the chat for a moment there. It's quite rude of me, but I'm back now. Cheers, Crazy Uncle, you absolute legend. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You got to work with me here too, guys. Sometimes, especially on landscapes, it happens on landscapes, you get yourself lost in them and you start just tearing into them. And I'm chatting, and then you'll hear the thought, just stop, slow down, and then pause completely while I just start placing paint over the surface. And in that moment, bear with me for one thing, but also enjoy it if you can. We can share a moment together. Something a little bit special, something a little bit deep. The human in a flow state, the primal, ridiculous pursuit of capturing something on the 2D surface and believing that another human will be able to feel from it. An outrageous thought. But in that pursuit, we can enjoy it together. And I believe the feelings in it, though far away on a timeline, the feelings of creating a flow state and making a piece of art that says so clearly and so calmly that I, or you, we're both here in the same way those pictures did. I'm fascinated by, when I say those pictures, ancient cave drawings. Ancient cave drawings before all the... We live in so much drama. A wild, wild world of art these days. And I don't know if there was or wasn't drama back however many years ago, but I see those cave drawings and I think it's such a statement of I was here, and in that moment where they're carving away at the rock, I'd like to think that their intentions to create are similar, however far in the future we are from where they were, that we share a moment similar. We're both just trying to create and share in a moment of I'm human and we make things. It's a true exchange of time, the best of seeing. That's a good one to say. I'm watching for you to be in your art zone. You're totally all good. Cheers to making. Maybe. One day, throw a show in Sydney. Maybe. There we go. So, and that's actually a thought that I like to return to while I'm painting. Sometimes the process can be quite stressful. You can lose yourself in it. And not in the best way. You're in a monologue. It's a nice way of saying that little voice in your head really starts beating you up. Even if it's not about art. It doesn't need to beat you up about art to weaken you. It just needs to beat you up. And once it starts doing that, you stop producing work which is of the intention that you want to be making work for. How do you get around that? How do you get around that? First off, good question. Second off, for me, I just remember those people painting on cave walls and wonder why they were doing what they were doing. And then also think, I don't think they overthought it. I think they just did. And that, my boy, is what you need to do right now. Okay. There we go. Stand back and have a little look-see. How are we looking? We might pause there on this one for now. We might pause there. I need to think about this one some more. I'm half capped right now. I'm thinking, I need to sit with this one for a bit, guys. This one here is I think this one's giving me a similar experience to New York City, in that when you leave New York, you think to yourself, did I see everything? And the answer is always no. Did you see enough though? I'm looking at this. Have we seen everything, or is there more that we want to capture? Is there more little moments, little bits and pieces? We'll let it sit. We'll think about it and come back to it. I'll spin it around so you can see it from the front on. So if I show you this there too, you'll see those textures. This catches the light there. This is the impasto effect I was talking about. There we go, across the surface, two bulbs. So see how it's not perfectly flat or completely all textured. The texture rises up those buildings So the windows, which if I show you on this angle, see how it's perfectly subtle? We're looking up in the top corner there, right up the back. See that, where those little white windows are? Now watch this as I twist it. Now watch as it catches windows up the sides of the building there. See those windows there? Now you can see it. There we go, just up there. See how we see those buildings in the dark, but not with tone. You see it with texture. Looks more like Tokyo than New York. Well, it's Broadway in New York, which is showbiz, and Tokyo knows how to put on a show. But at the end of the day, you can see what you want to see. And if you like Tokyo, I back you. I like that. While looking at the back, that's what the back looks like. This one here, I'll show the wood up close. This is not your regular wood. This is New Zealand ash, so it's New Zealand timber, and then this is unprimed canvas. So we've done to this surface exactly what we've done to this one. One layer of gesso, one layer of our priming and extender, and then one more layer of this. So a total of 3 layers onto our raw canvas, but we did them all with transparent gessos and primers. So that way we don't lose the canvas. We're not trying to lie about what we're painting. I want to show the canvas. Okay. Let's put down that one. And, right, come here. Oh my. Oh my. Hello. God, I love a fresh canvas. What does all the preparation do? That's a great question. So, with a material surface, typically when you buy a canvas, you might notice if you've been to an art shop or to some stores that sell canvases, they're always pure white because they get the canvas. I'll show you this one up close so you see what I mean. I'll just zoom up on it. But looky there. See how the texture on it, right up there close, has those little speckled dots? And you can see almost, this is a very, very, it's 15 Fox, I think that's what you call it. And it is cotton. Cotton? I think it's cotton, this one. But I chop and change. Sometimes we use French linen. I love that stuff. Different canvases for different things. This one here is your run-of-the-mill. So this canvas here, when I say run-of-the-mill, don't think of that like, oh, I don't want run-of-the-mill, I want fancy. No. This is run-of-the-mill in the way that a boxer's jab is their go-to. This is the go-to. Sometimes you'll use French linens. I like those. They're very, very flat, like a high thread count. So it's very, very hard to get the texture in it. Now we don't want the texture, but I want the raw nature of fabric. Baxter, most of them are commissions, and the ones that aren't typically just sell. But there is an online gallery and store coming soon. Sorry, so crazy gay uncle being sidetracked there. If you paint straight onto the fabric, think of fabric like a very similar, like a version of a sponge. If you put paint onto a sponge, it's going to sit on top of it, but then it's going to seep through it. Like putting ink in water. It's going to pull into the sponge. Now fabric's no different. Lesser, but no different, as it pulls across the surface. And so if you paint, say, oils onto wood, slowly the oil in the paint, as it dries, will seep into the wood, and it might lose some of that intensity of colour that oils normally have. Acrylics sometimes worse for that, because water can seep into almost anything. And so fast as well before it can dry. So to stop the colour from being less vibrant, we put the gesso coat on. It's a clear gesso. Normally gesso is white. That's why canvases are white in the store, but we want the raw canvas. We don't want to hide the canvas with some ugly white colour. I like raw. Now, that's me. If I'm painting wood, I want to show the wood. If I'm painting canvas, I want to show the canvas. Own what you are using. Don't try and hide it. You're not fooling anyone. Own what the materials are. This one's, yeah, ash timber, just like the other frame, and then the 2 coats I put on top of that, those are for me. They're not necessary to prime the surface anymore. The first one is a primer, similar to painting a house. You know how you put the primer coat on, the base coat? They typically use that for tooth. Tooth's very much, if you imagine that, a whole bunch of little teeth on the artwork, so when you paint, it catches that and holds on. Cool. I don't want tooth. I want the paint to flow across the canvas, to spread, be transparent, to not show up in some places, to really not go dry on the surface. So I add this stuff. And this stuff, for lack of a better explanation, is like PVA. PVA because it dries clear and it dries very, very flat. It's self-leveling. And I'll put 2 thin layers of that on top. So that'll first off make it kind of shiny. Second off, protect it. If I leave any of it exposed, it's ready to be, that's okay. In terms of, say there's a part that I actually like being canvas, I don't have to paint it. It's already covered perfectly with transparency gels to actually be displayed and sold and kept, and with longevity, just the way it is. You could leave this just the way it is, and it will last indefinitely. Beautiful. But we're going to paint it. We are going to paint it, and after we finish painting it, we'll put that same coat on at the end as well. Or, depending, we might swap to a UV protection coat, a matte coat, a varnish. You can decide that at the end. Yeah. But anyway, these last 2 coats are for me. It gives me my own texture. So the texture I'm painting on here isn't canvas texture, it's brushstroke texture. Big fan of that. Okay. Now, yes, what we're going to create. I need to get one little thing off this phone, and we're going to make something fairly fun. Yeah, you're all right, crazy uncle. I'm sorry I made the explanation so long, but it's important. It's one of the things I didn't value early in the piece when I was starting my journey as an artist. I definitely didn't value preparation. Preparation comes into everything, with your paintbrushes, your paints, your setup in general, your mental state, your physical state, and then your canvas, your surface you're painting on. I didn't value it. I just thought I'll just get in there and start. And although preparation doesn't control the process, it really does put you in the right position to get to a better result. So really good canvases. It doesn't need to be a great canvas if you can't afford great canvases. That's okay. It's okay to be wood, but prepare the wood. Prepare the whole thing. Get ready to succeed. A lot of people are painting on anything, not preparing it, and getting a lackluster result, or getting a result that they wanted, but it can only go so far because they didn't put love into starting it. Okay, sorry. Noob question. Absolutely not. That is I think if there's any artists in the room right now, they'll be saying, no, that was quite useful. A lot of artists, me included for a long time, default to white gesso, because clear gesso is hard to find. And you'd be wondering why you'd ever want clear gesso, especially for canvas. Now, I love showing off the canvas. There'll be other artists being like, actually, clear gesso on canvas. I don't want to get my canvases primed by some spray machine in another country. I want to prime my own canvases. I want to, don't put liquids on my work. I want raw canvas. I'll put the liquids on there. That's my job. Away with you, spray machine. That's how I feel. And there might be someone in here thinking the same thing. Danny, thanks for subscribing, you absolute champion. And your membership's running out, so I'd love to have you still as part of the team, Danny. But that's entirely up to you. Now, hold on. Let me see here. I need to grab something out of here. I'm getting an image for us to start with as our guiding image. Seb, for I don't speak for my own accord, John, proof that Jesus drove a Honda. Fair enough. Chad, that's not the first time you've got me with one of those. what I'm going to do is go into here. T. We're going to grab a guiding image to go with this one. Now, remind me here, crazy gay uncle, was it shedding misery? Shedding, it was shedding something negative and heading towards joy. Shedding something towards joy, starting left, moving right. What was the thing? Shedding sorrow. Perfect, perfect. Alright, that's what I'd like to hear. So guys, our painting here is a painting we've decided quite sporadically, quite spontaneously to do. This painting has a theme. The theme is going to be shedding sorrow. Shedding sorrow, and there won't be a direct split, but I need you to imagine a change. The left side here being sorrow, and the right hand side here being joy. And we're going to move from sorrow into joy. Now, oh, there's a star now. Hello, Danny. That's fantastic. There is a star now. And also, if you just resubscribe, you should get access to the Discord as well. I think so. But if you didn't already have it, if anyone here is a subscriber and you're not on the Discord, get on the Discord. We would love to have you. I would love to have you. I think one of the other things, oh look at that, 35 out of 40, I think we're going to make it. If this painting's fantastic guys, I think we might make it. But bear with me for a second, I'm just getting my loaded here. When finding the correct image to use here, find the right image. Stop. It's not going to be the exact thing we paint, but it's going to act as a guideline for what we want the picture to be. And this is interesting actually. I've just had another idea. When we talk about shedding sorrow, there's a movement aspect to it. Movement aspect. Sorry, sorrow, banana. And hello, thanks for the power hug, CJ Roberts, that's exciting. Going great, Cheryl's in the room. Cheryl's like, I come here briefly, and what's Seb doing? He's just on his phone. Unbelievable, trust me, I'm doing something here, I swear. I'm just trying to find the right guiding image that will actually, I don't want a person who's leaning into the sorrow. I want, almost like you get a mannequin to draw from, I want a person who's pointing up to or swirling towards joy, because that's where we're moving into. Where am I from? I'm from New Zealand. This is Auckland. Let me just see if we can find, yes. This is going to be quite an interesting interpretation here. This is going to be very interesting. Go with me here, crazy gay uncle. This is going to be a little bit unique. No, this is New Zealand, but we're going to go for something fairly unique. I'm going to print it off. The guiding image here. When it comes out, I'm going to show you guys, and oh, welcome, Raven. I'm going to print this out and explain to you why, and then show you. Here we go. In terms of this picture though, one of the things that will have a dramatic effect is the contrast in the shadows. And so the shadows, colour palette wise, representing sorrow, and the light patches touching it representing the joy aspect. I was thinking of a character who was leaning towards joy, but actually, what about a character with symmetry, where with the symmetry, the sorrow and the joy through it is actually done by the shadows on the character and the highlights on the character. So that contrast is creating the sorrow on the left into the joy. And then the other thing I want to show, because I feel like personally sorrow and joy are concepts which it doesn't take much to go from a joyous occasion to sorrow, and it doesn't take much to go from a feeling of sorrow to joy. Sometimes it can progress slowly, but we can spin on a dime and be on the other side in a moment. And so there's a nature of dancing between the two. You can't have one without the other. There's also a nature of a tightrope. Almost you're navigating a tightrope in which one you're currently on or how you get to the other one. Okay, is that paint on his lip? Maybe. Okay, thanks, Devon. Now, is there paint on the lip? Maybe. Maybe. Okay, image is printing out right now. This is going to be very unique. I've never painted this before, and that's part of the reason I'm excited to do this. I never had a reason to. Never had a reason to. But I think this is a good reason to do this painting. I think this is a good reason. This is very unique. Still there? Nah, nothing on my lip. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Alright. Okay. That's printing off. We're moving on to the right phase. Yes, this is fantastic. This is exactly what we want. This is exactly what we want. Crazy gay uncle, I am excited. Man, I'm excited. This is going to be fun. Alright. Get this stool out of the way. We don't need this in the shooting box. We need space. We need action. We need activity, energy, vitality. You don't go from sorrow to joy without some sort of vitality, with some sort of movement, some sort of change within you. So let's get up, let's get moving. Dana, it's called shedding sorrow. We're doing it on this canvas here. It's going to be good. Also guys, with a canvas, you won't be able to tell with this one. I'm going to show you though, with a good canvas, you should be able to flick it, and it should sound like a drum. It should sound like a drum because it is a drum. Now you'd be thinking, that didn't sound like a drum. The reason why my canvas doesn't sound like a drum is because since I've put these gesso coats on it, nice and thick, it's actually created more of a, did I say plasticky? More of a thick, sturdy surface rather than the stretched, taut nature of a drum. You can see, it's still got that bounce to it. Good canvas. Good canvas. I tell you what, when you get your surface really right, I know some artists talk about standing in front of a canvas and being like, I'm so nervous to put the first stroke on it. After all the preparation I've done with this thing, I just can't wait to chuck paint on it. That's what I want to do. I just want to attack it. And I'm ready to attack this. Okay. Here's our picture. Fantastic. How does that look? Perfect. Okay. Have a great night, everyone. Raven, catch you later. This is our picture. Now I'm thinking maybe I don't even show you guys, but I'll show you. I'll show you. The temptation not to show is there. It's there. So I thought about this a lot. This is how we're going to depict shedding sorrow. We've got a character, we've got movement, we've got symmetry. Movement and symmetry are two very, very hard things to get into the same shot, because usually movement brings with it asymmetry. Running, jumping, whatever it might be. For this character here, we've got movement, we've got symmetry, we've got contrast. There it is. This is our character. So, on the left-hand side, down this way, both in the colour palette that we use in the background, and then from the way the light, the shadows, sorry, are hitting your body from the side, we're going to use those to represent the sorrow. And then moving up through this side, through the dress, and up through the highlights on her body, we move towards joy. That is the plan. Now, one thing we're also going to do, yes it is, my name is Sebastian. Honestly guys, as fun as a self-portrait does sound, I think there's so many amazing things out there in the world that we can capture, that we can play with, that we can learn about. A self-portrait, it has less intrigue for me. I always find more fun capturing someone else's portrait. Okay. So we've done a slight altering. We've removed some of the background to bring the character closer to us. We now have our character up. Okay. 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 Excuse my weird little, I'm just imagining where and how. What and how. Sometimes I find too, guys, some of the most expressive strokes that I put onto a canvas, this is going to sound really cheesy. Hello, Amethyst. Some of the most expressive strokes I put on a canvas are the ones I didn't take. So, I mean that sometimes things are better left expressed by not being said. How many conversations have we had like that in our lives? There's even a song about it. You say it best when you say nothing at all. I'm not saying we're not going to paint this. I'm saying that this is it. This is a thing. Okay. Thanks, Dana. Appreciate that. Okay. You paintbrush. You palette. Here we are. Funky plate. Good way to start. Now we're going to kick off with the colour I wanted to start with yesterday. Mars Black. Where are you, Mars? Naughty. We're going to go for Carbon Black. Let's see where that takes us. And then we're going to get a little bit of phthalo green. The reason phthalo green is going to creep into the painting is because underlying sorrow, underlying joy, is something very, very natural. Natural, primal, instinctual, real. And so we're going to put natural colours down as a base, and then bring out the colours from there. Now, I will be back in just a moment. Because I want to do this non-stop, I'm going to go to the bathroom before I kick into it. So, give me a second. A little bit of this. There we go. Right, coming back. Here I come. I hope no one minded waiting too much. Yeah, sorry, Taylor. Where did he go? Totally fair enough. Totally fair enough. Okay. In my excitement, I forgot the timer. And because I forgot the timer, I thought I could get away with grabbing a coffee as well. Here we go. A little coffee. It was quick. In fact, I didn't boil the jug completely to get the coffee. But I did wash my hands, Cheryl, I promise you that. Okay. Yeah. Big fan of this cup. I like this cup. This is a funky one. Okay. Right. Okay. Espresso, black. Oh yeah, you bet it. You have the golf course guy laugh. Never seen it. Right. Here we go. These turned on. The time lapse is what I'm saying. Gotta get the time lapse started, guys. Otherwise you post pictures and everyone's like, you didn't make that. A 1 hour paint session? We might go a little bit over that, but that's okay. We might go a little bit over. Black first. These lines here exist only for me. Well, you can see them, but they exist for me to highlight where I want to acknowledge moments of energy, form in the picture, and how I want to understand her body and how she exists. What do I see that's unique about her character? Where do I scribble? Where do I value? There we go. You kind of sound like the dude from Freedom. I think he has to do some sketching before the canvas piece. I just want to figure out for myself where do I care about? Where do I feel like her movement's going to? What shadows matter? Can you please explain what you're doing now? Of course I can. So these lines here are the darkest parts of the painting. The most expression in these parts. And these aren't parts to sit down and slowly etch away with. These are parts to capture in huge, big brush strokes. In those brush strokes, you define what sort of a painting you want, what sort of character you want. You want a character with movement that you care about. You want something far more lethargic. It's okay for both. But you make that decision. You always make that decision. In the first few strokes. And then, every stroke after that, or is either trying to agree with that decision, or it's you trying to change your mind. So now you see those underlined greens that we were talking about? There we go. Right up the edges. We're going right around the edge of the canvas this time with this green. Normally we don't with canvas, but we are this time. Well, quite a mixed bag to be honest. Loving the green, I I request a lot, not green, please. A lot of I was like, a lot not green? It's too late. We are attacking this with green. Now, don't think of green as becoming a fundamental player, but an underlying player. That's what green is. Perfect. Let's put that up there. And under here. Beautiful. How are we sitting? Just the right place right now. Get as much movement as we can. Start these strokes, no small chicken scratch ones. Big movements. This paint will dry fast. After it's dry, we can always cut in. We can alter the lines. The actual position, the exact composition of our lady, matters little compared to these strokes being big, bold. There we go. Why do you dance when you paint? If you don't mind me asking. I think you want to ask a boxer, why do they move when they box? It's a very good idea. No, with the movements that you put behind each step, it's not so much dancing as it is getting momentum behind each brushstroke. Disengaging, re-engaging, coming forward, going back. Making a good painting. Making something authentic, something real. It's not just lethargically putting down one brushstroke at a time. It's far more of a dance with it. You're working with it, you're building it. You're going toe to toe with it. Sometimes you'll have to compromise. Sometimes it'll lead you. Sometimes you'll lead it. But there's one thing for certain, that if you've got a dance partner, you are not in full control. You're accepting that they are half of the performance. So in this case, no matter how hard we try, this painting is something in and of itself that we have to dance with. There we go. All the way down. There we are. Perfect. Lethargic is the word of the night. Lethargic is a great word. I love the word lethargic. There we go. Okay. I'm going to use some more of this brush. No. We're going to swap. Swap to the next. And highlight those darker tones some more. That's the plan. Here we go. What does it mean? Lethargic means slow, lazy. Everything you don't want a piece of artwork on your wall to be. Here we go. Okay, the emerald colour is out. Hey Victoria, how you doing? Oh. Taylor, you're out of here. Catch you later. If you do have to go, and you want to see how this piece comes together, you can of course always catch it. I'll start posting it as part of the story on TikTok. So you'll always not miss out if you need to get some sleep. So I don't want to keep you guys up if you've got work and things like that following day. There we go. Acrylic Lisa, yes indeed. Your back must hurt? Ah, no, it's perfect. I like to stand. I enjoy it. Thanks, Crazy Gay Uncle. I appreciate those Kiwis to no end, you know that. Now, starting off, this picture. This is going from sorrow to joy. Now, if we're going from sorrow to joy, what do we start with? We start with sorrow. We start with darkness. Start deep in it. As I paint and add these colours, first off, what are you caught by immediately? The movement. You see the movement of the dancer. The compelling nature of how she's somehow exploding a little bit into the picture. But you know what? Straight after that, sit here for a moment in that static, frozen scene. What happens next? What happens if I slowly add these colours and increase the level of darkness? I want you to feel a form. Wouldn't it be right in these darker shades if you started seeing a form of sorrow? If you had any superpower, what would it be? I'd take the responsibility of being able to heal people. And on top of that, if you gave me that power and we're trying to make a movie out of it, let's not do it that's cheesy, let's have some fun. Give me the power to heal through paintings. So if I make a painting, being in the presence of it would stop certain ailments, illnesses, depression, cancer. And then I'm just trying to paint as fast as humanly possible to get it to as much hospitals as humanly possible. I wouldn't stop. 23 hours a day, 1 hour sleep, I'd just keep going. Hello, Victoria's out of here. It's been real, Victoria. You were here for a brief time, but a good time. Like I say, I'll post the picture, the time lapse, in the story. Right, here's our blacks. out of there real quick. We're going to do something sneaky because my phone is dying. So we're going between the phone and the time-lapse device, trying to keep everything alive. We're juggling. Next play. Up here. Can't understand that, but thanks for joining in. Sorry about that, guys. Frozen. Yeah, no, what happened there was are we back? We're back. Sorry, guys. What happened there was it told me it had 54% battery. I pulled the charger out, plugged it into something else, and then it immediately died. So it's a disaster. Sorry about that. But we're back now. But what I will do is I'll still plug that in. Give me 1 second to grab an extension lead. Here we go, into here. Bring this over to here. Almost there, team. Almost there. Plug that into there. There's a giant sea of cords behind me. To make sure I plug the right ones into the right things. This one goes in here. Did I fix it? This. There we go. We're back. Sorry about that, guys. Running a fresh extension cord. How fun is that? All right. Let me see here. Dun 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 dun. And okay, let's go for. Here we go. A little bit of this. Right. Now we've got everything we need. Nothing's going to die on us. Everything's plugged into the chargers. Panicking there for a moment, but we're all good now. Here we go. This colour here is Chinese blue. Now the reason why this is a fantastic colour is because it's very similar to the colour Picasso used during his blue period. One of the fundamental colours I see him using a lot. So I really like this one because it brings with it sort of painting I love of someone laying down with their back turned. It's painting I love that really pops with this Chinese blue. We had a print of it in our home when I was younger. I fell in love with it every time I saw it. And now I get to use that same Chinese blue to make art. How fun. Here we go. But I want as these colours land, I want you to feel like I do. We're going to a sad place. Do you think that with colours alone, we can capture some sorrow? And if we do, I think with colours alone, we can imbue that sorrow with joy. Here we go. So now you've seen that green fade back a little bit. And it's much more, what do I say, depressed, slow, still moving blue comes in here. And even though it's a sadder colour, it still bears with it that movement, that flick to it. Lala, you love art. That is fantastic. I'm glad to hear it. Here we go. And I'm setting this up the whole time. We're setting up because we're not staying here. Setting up the perfect colour palette. Because just like sorrow reflects joy, we're going to be able to jump in with the joy in those colours and have a huge impact on the palette. We're going to watch it change drastically. Spot the work all over its surface. Stand back for a moment. I need some dark colour. Where is the colour I'm after? Sienna. No, not this one. Your painting makes your back feel better. That's fantastic. You're totally cool, praise gay uncle. I've added in a Chinese blue, and you'll see that as I add these tones, although they still have a bit of light to them, they start to feel like they almost, even though they're put on as giant flicks, take away from the movement of the piece as they pause it. They make it feel lethargic. They, even though it's a dancer and she seems somewhat highlighted, it might feel like it's suddenly sapped of joy within the image. Not that the picture itself is cold, but that it starts to get a cold feeling into it. We're going to keep building that into it. We want that cool feeling. This is true. This is true, piece. 6 hours sleep. Piece is correct. April, you're on the right play there. Here we go. We're not finished yet either. We should start getting more of these colours. We should see this painting here, the theme. We're going from sorrow to joy. That's the plan. It's an idea we've been given, I've talked about on the stream here today, and we're going to bring it to life on this canvas that I've prepped. That's the plan. I've got to make sure these paint strokes keep that movement somehow Capture an element of sadness. And I cannot wait. Everything I do with my painting style, guys, everything I do with every brushstroke I take embodies a work with happiness. Crazy, abundant vitality. So I cannot wait to jump on this work and use that abundant vitality to alter it. And bring this dancer on the center stage into the light. And you know what? I'm looking forward to having you there with me. Here we go. DJ Sam, tell you what, we'll call this my trial period, DJ Sam. And if I make a beautiful, beautiful example of joy from sorrow and have movement through it and beauty through it, then you have to resubscribe. You don't have to do anything, I'm kidding with you. You're an absolute champion, and I appreciate having you here. But I am absolutely loving how our community is growing. I'm absolutely loving the love that you all give as we make art live here. Because it's my goal and my dream and what I do to expose myself psychologically and mentally as much as I can, in the hope that by doing so we can connect, and maybe this piece of art, although it exists in one place in the world, can give a lot of people a little bit of joy, a little bit of love, a little bit of vitality. In this case, starting from sorrow. We're starting from sorrow. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to take you on a journey with me. We're going to start in sorrow. And we're going to end this journey in joy, happiness, vitality, crazy, abundant, overflowing energy. User, lol. Good for you. Here we go, Tandelo. Perfect. I hope it's starting to feel like the less I touch that dress, the more it feels like the whole artwork's closing in around the dancer. In fact, I feel less like she's blowing out into it and moving, and more like she's trying to hold the edges of the canvas off herself. She's in that space now. Her hands don't come up as if she's a beautiful dancer lost in a moment, but like she's trying to hold the top of this canvas and crushing down onto her. We'll change that. We're determined to. We're going to. It looks so good when you added the blue. That's good. Almost about to walk out of the canvas and become real. That's great. Thanks, April. I thought you were about to say something angry there. So I was almost about to walk out of the room. I'd be like, that guts me. But that's not what April was saying. There we go. Cool. Come here, sorrow. Sorrow, joy from sorrow. That's what we're doing here. So, the first coat, this first coat, we're capturing sorrow. Confused, lethargic, lost, crushing sorrow. Something I don't normally paint. This is unusual for me. We're only doing it. We're only doing it. First out of request, but also because I want to show you. I want to show you how we can pull joy into this in abundance. We're going to give this painting the biggest, rawest hug. It's going to happen with colour, with movement, with abundance. There we go. Now, we're not done yet. We need another colour. What is it going to be? What is it going to be? Da 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 da. Let's go for we will use this one, but not straight away. We'll come back to that one. Phthalo green. I might keep the colours out that we use down the ground here, so we know how many pigments we're on as we go through this work. So we've used aquamarine blue, we've used phthalo green, we've used carbon black as our 3 to start with. Use some bright colour. We'll get there, don't you worry. We'll get there. And don't worry, bright colours and pinks are on the way. But what are we doing first? We're capturing this dancer. And this one here, brilliant violet, which is like a soft purple. And last but not least, it's going to be red violet. Red violet, here we go. Our last 2 colours, 1 and 2, to capture this. Capture a feeling of stillness in this picture before we come back. The first screen was like emerald. Bad cropping. Oh no. Wait, you mean with the picture? That's so tough, Leo. I'm sorry. Here we go. Right, let's grab this here. And let's get this brush clean. Now, first colour. Pink will mess with it. I guess he needs to use greens and blues. Look at this all. I'm enjoying the thoughts that are going on here. But the sorrow we're trying to capture, it's not just blue. We're going to grab it with some purpley tones. Deep in here. Deep in these colours of this blue. Now remember the theme of this painting. We're extracting joy from sorrow. So our target here is to start with sorrow. Start with that. We have the movement of the dancer, but then, once we capture that dancer, capture that sorrow, we're going to come back with abundant joy. Like a dancer spinning, you wait, we'll pivot this thing on a dime. Leo likes the painting. Rejoice, people, rejoice. Here we go. There we are. And up in the headpiece here. Then down through here. Are you Australian? No. No. I'm New Zealander. But you're close. You're close. So, I want this next colour to feel. This is this, what did I say it was? Red velvet. Not typically a colour you combine with sorrow, but if I drizzle it on here, the connotation that it will give you, a drizzled velvet. The very term drizzle doesn't seem to bring vitality with it. It adds complexity. this dark, brooding background. Movement, but complexity. One thought after another, bouncing around, all seemingly unique strokes, but all coming back to the same colours. Drizzling red velvet. Through here, there we go. Right at the top here, combine them, there we go. What is it? Great question. There we go. And then right down the bottom here, is that song, it's currently giving me those vibes of that song, Black Velvet. I think that's what it's called. There we go. And then in here. And then in here. A dancing ballerina. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Bear with me. This ballerina's about to pop. These are the first lines. It's funny because at the moment they have this running down effect, but they're going to have a throwing up effect, and it's going to be cool. Here we go. A little bit more of this. Here we go. So again, we haven't added a lot of light. The saturation, because there's a bit of colour in the sorrow. Here we are. And then down in here. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So now. I don't know about you guys, but I see a fairly, I see the dancer, I see the sculpture of her body, I see what she's wearing, and I see her form. But what she's looking at, or what surrounds her, has this immense weight to it. It has this intensity, this somber, saturated but somber sorrow in it. So, next stage, let's change that. When I say change that, I mean all up the side, all the highlights on her. You wait, she's about to just go pop. Because she's now about to start entering joy. Joy. What does joy look like to you? How does joy start? Who knows how joy starts? When you first start feeling joy, what's the feeling you get? It's warm, isn't it? It's warm. Grabs, it's almost like a hug, the temperature change. The thrill of an embrace. So let's get warmth. 2 shades of red to start with. And then we're going to splice across to our first taste. Yellow. You don't like hugs? Imagine something else. Imagine a coffee. The AirPods. They should be in the truck. Alright. Let's see here. Red. Just like this. Change our thought process now, guys. We're in sorrow. We're in this heavy landscape, but now it's time to bring joy into it. So let's be poetic here, Vernon. Thanks, Vernon. It's poetic. Let's start joy right in her chest. Right where the warmth of joy starts. There we go. Right around this area. And then in the core of her body. In her core. Immediately, look at that. We've only just started doing it, and she feel like in her center, all of a sudden, there's this warming. Morbid. Settle down. You liked it morbid, Rodney. Let's have a look-see here. There we go. Well, I didn't like it morbid. I want to capture the joy in it. I want to see all that joy and abundance. Hello, Maxine. Welcome. There we go. So you see how her character has that darkness on one side, and now we have this abundant joy taking over the other side of her body. Soon, not just the other side of her body, the other side of the canvas altogether. A ballerina is the first picture I ever drew as a child. It's pretty exciting. There we go. Have you ever tried darker, tormented theme art? Quentin, no. Starting with sorrow, like we did here with the heavier colours, and then moving towards joy, that's as close as I've done. We're not here to create those feelings. We're here to create warmth, vitality, joy, happiness. And so those feelings at the start have only assisted us in creating a contrast in how important and great this joy is going to be. That's what we're up to. We've got a reference picture that we're using. A reference picture that's giving us inspiration for a ballerina, just in the form of like a model almost. There we go. Let's grab that through here. Now see, these reds, previously grappling with almost a morbid tone. Watch that dry away. Watch that change as they combine with oranges. We start to get heat, warmth, not just this vigour that reds give, but the warmth that orange gives in conjunction with red. Thanks, Heather. You never equated colours with feelings, but just like music, like in a TV show. Have you watched a TV show where the subtitles are on and it says ominous music, and then it says scary music, and then it says, spooky music or anticipating sounds or whatever like that. In the same way, colours can have a similar effect. Colours tag themselves to emotions, not always as simplistically as saying this means negative. Sometimes black can be immensely positive, defining something of real satisfaction or joy. Doesn't have to be tagged to negative all the time. But colours certainly have a role to play in how we feel and how a painting makes us feel. Was it designed to make us feel happy? Sad? What colour evokes the strongest emotion from me? It depends. It depends. I think a colour, blue, can be happy in one sense. In this sense here, we use it to depict sorrow. Red can be vitality and warmth in one sense, and then be anger and rage in another. And so it depends on the context of it. With sound, sound's a little bit different. With sound, ominous is always ominous. So there's more of a creative license taken when it comes to paint, to understand what mood's being depicted here. Is it as simple as black means bad, or is there more to a painting? Okay, our first strokes of warmth. Let's get that paint off there. Do I do commissions, Umberto? Yes, I do. Lots of them. There's about a 20-day wait at the moment, but I would love to have you on that list. I'd absolutely love to have you on that list. Jump on the link in my bio, fill out the commission form, the size you're after, where in the world I'm shipping to, and I'll come back to you with a price. Let's have a look-see here. Okay. Let's put this. Thanks, Jay Smith. Appreciate that. A little bit here. All right. Now that we have the warmth, let's bring in the joy. What colour is joy? deep magenta. Hello. Here it comes, speckling through. Joy is going to enter this picture through colour. Similar to the works of one of our favourites. Who likes Monet? Because Monet, his style, is about to fly in here as the background starts to show us where joy is existing. The background is going to be the metaphor for dark to light, sorrow to joy. And the dancer, now caught in her warmth and her vigour, she is going to be the embodiment of the movement between the two. Umberto, welcome to the team, you absolute champion. I appreciate the love, I appreciate the support to no end, and we, us, the community, us people who feel like energy can be transposed onto a surface and then shared with the world, are now only 4 off, getting to a team of 40 of us. God, that's exciting. Wouldn't it be so cool to get there today? I'd be so excited. Now, just like a yin-yang symbol has a little bit of darkness and light, so too, this deep magenta is going to creep onto the dark side and exist there. Tiny little spots. Tiny little spots. There we go. How many colours are we at? We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're at our 9th pigment at the moment. There we go. That was the 9th pigment. Now, let's have a little look-see here. Okay. Let's grab this orange. Here we go. I don't want the dancer to sit on top of the work. The dancer's a part of it. So we're going to splash around some of her vitality, some of her orange goodness. Onto the picture itself. There we go. Are all the paintings you do on live commissions? They chop and they change. So if I'm doing a commission, I'll always do it live. Sometimes you can't help yourself. You get locked in a project of passion. You just want to see a work be made. In this case here, this work here is a guest appearance. And it's pretty exciting. It's pretty fun. It wants to feel like too, you might notice a subtle realism aspect of it is going to be a feeling of her throwing her hands up in rose petals. Almost falling everywhere, fluttering down onto her. That's kind of cool. There we go. Right. Time for colour. The next plate. Aren't you cold? It's freezing today. Yeah, a little bit. Not really. I'm inside. Inside's warm. I will say, what's that celebrity crush right now? Miley Cyrus. It's a new album. She looks absolutely radiant. Dancing and singing. Haven't heard the songs that much. I just saw it on TV a while ago. And I think, good for you, you absolute champion. Right, next pigment. What is it going to be? We're not going to make this a psychedelic work. We're going to keep it natural. So to keep it natural, we're going to sneak into, not into the sadder tones we started with, but into our natural tones. That green we kicked off with is about to make an appearance again. Spattering around. Yes. There we go. Had to think about that one for a bit. Sap green. Is it the colour we want? That's the question. It is. We're golden. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of this one. Thanks, Thomas. Appreciate that. I have got paint on myself though. It's a lie. There's a little bit just down here. So, if you want to unfollow me and never watch again because I got paint on myself, completely understand. Get it? Here we go. Curious, is saying someone's a champion a New Zealand saying or a Sep saying? I think it's a New Zealand saying. I say it a lot. A champion is a good thing though, Wendy. A champion is a legend. You fantastic individual. You champion, legend, boss, stallion, phenomenal individual. Everything that you'd ever want to be. Oop. Thanks for spotting that, Dee. Appreciate that. Thanks, Dee. You're a champion. The things we miss. Oh my god, that means I've been doing this whole work on my fly down so far. That's so embarrassing. Oh well, we're here now. You don't say that in the US? It's an absolute classic saying here. Well, is it? I'm probably a person who says it a lot more than others. That's just me. I like it. Here we go. Right, lead through here. And then into our more softer, muted greens. Here we go. There we go. Into the background. especially down here. Then into our reddish browns. Perfect. At high school, what high school did you go to? Must have been, hello Patix. I went to Tara Boys College. We had a great arts department, but it wasn't something we were overly known for. In my year, we did have a lot of strong art students though. One of us went off to become a very famous potter. One of us went off to become a pretty good designer. I went off to become a painter. We've got some very, very talented photographers. Here we go. What made me want to become an artist? Honestly, how much fun I'm having. Why would I ever want to be anything else? There we go. All right, next plate. Right. This next layer, this is going to be really fun. I always love this moment. This is one of my favorite moments. It's one of my favorite moments because I get to add Naples yellow into the work, and I love Naples yellow. Umberto. This is a very good question, and I get asked this a lot. When it comes to not overworking a work, the moment when you should stop, is when you love what you've made more then you want to see what it can become. There's a very specific moment when that happens. You'll know. It'll feel like fear. Fear of ruining it, fear of changing it, fear of this, fear of that. It's not fear. It's love for what you've got, love for what you've made, love for the feeling you've managed to capture. And at that point, you stop. Right, standing back. Having a look-see. Hold me closer, tiny dancer. Right. Naples yellow. I love this colour. Let's encroach. Okay. Encroach. Sounds like cockroach. Encroach because this is going to be the first colour that starts going on top of other colours. Thanks, Connie. Appreciate that. And thanks, Danny. Right. First colour. It starts to obnoxiously say where those brighter shades are. If we do this well, here we go. She doesn't have frills, but she does have, it's iridescent. It's iridescent. More. There we go. May have been said, you must leave her on the easel as it looks like... No, you're the first person to say that, and I like it. That's very funny. That's very, very funny. Welcome in. You are... Oh, you can stay. That's funny. There we go. Thanks, Chrissy. I appreciate that. Now, you start gently getting a few little spots of this dress. Thanks, Connie. Let's go like this. There we go. Then it encroaches down here. And then over here. And down through these parts. And then right up in this top corner here, right up in the top. A few tiny little petals. This is the joy. Unchained. Sprinkling. Bouncing. There we go. First time during the painting, started oil painting. I love it. I've only done 3 paintings, but you love it. That's fantastic, Shawnee. Sorry, Connie. That's fantastic. And I was mixing it up with the Shawn Mendes comment. But this paintbrush is also done. We are going on to the colour I've been waiting for, turquoise. Greatest compliment anyone. I'm certain this one isn't. Yeah, I'm fairly confident this one isn't, Steve. But you never know. You never know. It's always worth asking, you know. Just in case. There we go. In we go. With the joy. Thanks, Petty Diamond. How old am I? I am 30 years old. And in 10 more years, or 7, it'll be very rude to ask me that question. I'll be like, you're as old as you feel. There we go. Do you get your art supplies from Gordon Harris, or do you recommend another supplier? Gordon Harris is great. They've got some lovely paints. I get my paint from a few different places. Different acrylics have different effects. So the ones I'm using in this case, these have a slight satining through them. So they'll always dry, not perfectly matte. They'll have a little bit of sheen to them. Always a little bit of sheen. Not too much, but a little bit. And I love that. Now, Gordon Harris have their own range as well. They've got the Atelier paints and then some other fancier ones too. And a wide selection of brushes. It really depends on what's closest to you. Try and save $2 on a brush to drive way out somewhere. Only to spend $10 on fuel. I'd be that person. What happened to the laughing guy? Drying out, I guess. The laughing guy? Love. You're so mean. Welcome, by the way, love. There we go. Can you also live as a protective layer? Can you also show live as a protective layer? Oh, I don't know what you mean by that. Do you consider yourself an expressionist? A little bit. Then I'm 90. Oh, jeepers. Legend, basically from birth. I'm getting so caught up in the painting, I'm losing track of the comments. And they're running off in all directions. I'm 100% confident this one isn't Steve. I love that. It's very funny. There we are. So our two pigments. Wipe down this brush, take off that blue. We're going to come in with our, oh, I missed a few there. Didn't get it, didn't have an answer. What happened to laughing guy you painted last night? Oh, sorry, I thought you meant I was the laughing guy. So the laughing guy I painted last night, he's still here. But we've taken a quick detour into something quite special. Now I'm going to grab 3 warm shades, one being regular orange, another being Venetian pink. I'm just choosing, we're not going to use olive green, but we will use vermilion. Vermilion, Venetian pink, orange, and Chinese blue will make an appearance too. There we go. Perfect. Coming back out. And the last colour that we use will be white. There we go. Just curious, new fan here. Sorry. Do you do any of your own original pieces? Artwork. Do I do any of my own original pieces? Oh, you mean ideas that I come up with? Sometimes, a lot of the time. We did a portrait yesterday of Worsley. We did an elephant 3 days before that. We came up with the idea for this ballerina now. I would say we have a pretty good mix of asked for content versus me saying, let's do this. Probably a bit too much of me saying let's do this. Loving this one? Thanks, Ricky. There we go. Perfecto. Take the blue off the brush now. We're now on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 pigments. 16 pigments. What a time. Here we go. Let's start splashing these around. Thanks, Connie. Appreciate that. So you'll start to see the difference between the left side and the right side of our dancer. Equal in the amount of expression in it, but the happiness, joy and vigour on the right hand side, it seems to be going, we'll keep adding more. But you get that explosive feel. There we go. Alright. Hey, you have the same style. Ever thinking of... You have the same style. Ever thinking of changing it? Same style. You think so? Yeah, I think so. As in the same as the previous painting you saw? I think the subject matter with the flat background and the lady. I think the subject matter gives similar style impression, but I think my style does take some drastic twists and turns. There we go. All right. Favorite painting? I chop and I change. I think probably, like I said before, all the paintings have a favorite window, a point in them that I really enjoy them. Sometimes it's the start, sometimes it's closer to the end. Every painting has their own little moment in the sun. Here we go. Hello, Tomiko. 199. We are one person off, hitting the 200 mark. Man, that's exciting, guys. Man, that's exciting. Congratulations, everyone. That's pretty cool. 199 people in a team. I'm excited to have each and every one of you. That's phenomenal. There we go. Right. Bathroom break for me. Do you drink when you paint? Sometimes, but I prefer to think of painting more like a sport. More like something you need to prepare for, hydrate for, and smash. Instead of something that you drink with, or, you know, it's a leisurely activity, just like sport is, but it's intense. And so stay on your ball, smash it out, enjoy it, stay hydrated, and stay in the best frame of mind you can to do the most dexterity and strokes you possibly can. Espresso, yeah, I drink a lot of coffee. Timestamp could be petals, lights, or people. Her pose is perfect, simply gorgeous. Thanks, Natalie Wild. That is a lovely comment to say. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to be back in just a second. I'll put the bada bing, bada boom, if I can find the thing. I've also got to find Shelby's AirPods as well. She wants to listen to music, and I took them to the gym this morning. So I'm going to give myself a 2-minute timer. If I'm not back in time, please, I'm so sorry. I'll do my best. Okay, back soon. Find my keyboard. Oh, I was just too late. Oh, I missed it. I tried so hard. I ran back, and I missed it. Oh, yuck. Licorice tea. Oh. Licorice tea watching Seb paint. It's so relaxing. That's cool, Natalie. I like that. Okay. Looking at this picture, what is the next step we take? The next step we take. Looking back. See, one of the things I love about this piece, guys, get things for dinner, asking for a friend. It's a good question. Nah. Pull out some chicken and I will make something yum. Alright, 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 alright. Can we see the inspiration pick? You can. You can. I'll show you it quickly before I attack the next code. Bang. So there's our dancer. I'll put her in the right place. Ching. Ding. 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 Done. You think it's finished? Coconut Park says it's finished. Subtitle is on. When do you know when a painting's done? These are all good questions. I like all these questions. You know when a painting's done. But we're not done here. We're not. We're close though. We're finished with these pigments. See, one of the things I want to capture, and remember that we started out with the intention here, of capturing sorrow moving to joy. That's what we're after. That's what we want. From a place of sorrow, go into a place of joy. Now see how we've started with this dark, brooding background. The dark, brooding background and those sort of saturated colours sat there with sorrow. And as we saw it, it felt like she was holding back the edges of the canvas and being crushed inwards. Now, we've moved on from that. There's these capturings of light and warmth and vitality in her character, and then, as if she's throwing up rose petals, you could argue, is she holding back the edges of the canvas and trying to stop sadness from closing in? Or is she throwing up rose petals in an action of vitality that she spins with the movement of what she's doing? Who knows? We do. She's moving towards vitality. The thing I really like about this one, the thing I really like about it, is that herself as a dancer, these parts in between, see all this white in here? She's not painted white. She's not painted white. That's the canvas. And we haven't told her what to be. She's depicted entirely by the emotions and the movement that makes her. We haven't said at any point, you are this colour, I'm going to paint you up. This is raw canvas, and we're going to keep it that way. Because it's not about her specifically. She's the dancer, she's the movement. But she is the vessel, the conduit that's moving between the sorrow and the joy. That's what this is about. Okay, next plate. Ooh, this is exciting. Here's a new plate. Here's some fun thing. It's got a flower on it. My new plate has a little flower on it. Kind of like that actually. It's kind of cool. Okay, still going to use it, but I kind of like it. Alright. Okay. Okay. No, I haven't, but I've wanted to. I think the reason why I haven't painted Marilyn Monroe is I haven't found the right shot, and I've looked at her many times. I've looked at her and thought, one day, different photos, different angles, different moments, I'm yet to pick one. Right, the next colour we're adding into it is going to be our, doesn't say the name of it here. Oh, Alizarian Crimson. And it's our only test tube from Liquid-X, because it was on sale. Not that there's anything wrong with Liquid-X. Don't think that Seb avoids Liquid-X. Seb doesn't avoid Liquid-X. Seb likes all kinds of paint. It just so happens that he doesn't have a lot of Liquid-X. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with Liquid-X. In fact, to prove there's nothing wrong with it, I'll buy more Liquid-X. Fine, you've made me do it. Fine. I'm in Toronto right now. What's the time in your place? It is 5:42. 5:42. So we're going to bring this piece to a close in the next 5:42. Easily within the next 50 minutes, it's going to reach conclusion. Wherever that conclusion might be. Looks great. Thanks, Andy. Alright, dang it, Kiwi. Dang a Kiwi, epic work, man. Thanks, H. Appreciate you. Oh, H, you absolute champion. How long are you going to live? A little bit longer, Michael. A little bit longer. 12 p.m. All right, all right. I think I'm going to stop at 30 pigments. I think 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We're on 24. 24. We'll stop at 24. We'll stop at 32. That's the plan. That's the plan. A little bit of this. Awesome. Awesome. Now, first colour off the ranks. Change my mind on this brush. You do that. You get just ready to go and then you're like, nah, not that brush. Not that white. Bring this up here. And we are going to use, perfect, this brush. You should listen to The Deli by Ice Spice. Well, Ice Spice is a very, very cool name. So, on that regard alone, I might do it. Does your style lean towards control or sporadic? The style, there is no splatters here. Every single stroke is intentionally placed, with movement behind it sometimes, but intentionally placed. But the end result, up close, and sometimes from a distance, is absolutely chaotic. Absolutely chaotic. Now, how do you do that? Well, basically, we get the most controlled style, most ridiculous pursuit of perfection when nothing's ever good enough and everything has to be different and everything has to be just the way you want it. That was the way I saw art. And you take away the paint by numbers. You throw it in the bin and you go paint by chaos and you start with the wrong colours and you finish with the wrong colours and you do it your own way and you don't worry about any system or blueprint and lose yourself in every individual brush stroke and let it decide where the painting's going to go next. And if you do that, you end up with this immensely crazy, primal, uncontrolled, chaotic piece of work. But every stroke, weirdly, out there on its own, heading its own direction, trying to depict something and beat the chaos surrounding it, it's placed very, very carefully. No blueprint, always draw the best with no expectations of pure. Yes, well said, H. Well said, H. Thanks, love. Thanks, love. Right. Dabbling around here, these tiny little dots. Go, and then up in here. Level 60. Level 60? Level 60. Last time I saw level 60 was my friend's World of Warcraft account. There we go. Jumping off those, going into the deep crimsons. These are going to add not that bouncy colour, but depth into these crazy little strokes. For 5 seconds I thought the easel had legs. You're the second person to say that, and the first time it was said, it was very, very funny, because I hadn't seen that. I can't help now but to enjoy that. What would you consider painting? Dye hen wood, check him out, TikTok. Oh! Yeah, I can check him out. Honestly, I'm not always that fussy about subject matter. I really like things that test me, change the way I think, alter what I have perceptions of. You have so many predispositions of what you like to paint and how you paint. Being challenged, thrown to the deep end, having your opinions altered or tested, that's fun, that's healthy as an artist. Don't get caught up in what you think you have to see, what you think you're good at painting. This is just a recipe for danger, disaster. There we go. What paint brand do we use? We use a mixture. Today we're using a mixture of innovative acrylic, Liquitex, and Atelier. And is it for sale? If we perfect it, if we complete it well, and I love it, then it will be for sale. But the first person who gets offered it is our boy, Crazy Gay Uncle, because it was his idea to create it. So, he gets to choose. And if he doesn't go for it, totally all good. Sometimes it's fun to be part of a journey, but you don't want to live in that journey for the rest of your life. And he's already got a painting coming his way, so it may not be the right fit. But, if he doesn't take it, and I think it fits beautifully into the collection, then we can make some moves from there. I've got an idea. I'm going to do a quick counter, but I've got an idea. So, quick counter. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Interesting. Interesting. To 21. Alright, change of plan. We're not going to use I love this. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate that. Cheers, Jamie. We're not going to use 30 colours. I'm going to do something. It's coincidental, but we'll force it a little bit. So we're going to use 22. It's 24 paints, because we're going to use black, carbon black, and titanium white. So 24 total, but 22 pigments and tones. Now, the reason why I'm setting on 22 is, there's any Swifties out there? I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Let's keep that joy pumping through here. I don't know about you. There we go. We're gonna capture those last little bits around here. Now, that's not to say this painting will be finished, but if we can get these last little bits, spots around here, then we may leave it for, say, anywhere between 1-2 days, 24 to 48 hours, and we see how we feel about the painting after that time. There we go. Sorry, how long have you been painting? Do you have a formal education? Love. I do, and a long time, since I was better. Have you done art sessions with friends, or do you like to paint alone? I love to paint with friends. Possibly the best way to paint, guys, is to paint as a group. Yes, you need time on your own, of course you do. But in terms of painting, having a group around you, it's just like training. If you're training for soccer or rugby or golf or cricket or whatever you do, sport training, better with a group. Better with a group. And plus, Ben would be here to tell me when my posture was slacking. I always crane forward. See how my neck comes forward like that? I've got to stand straight. Stand straight, present yourself the artwork, and dance with it. Can't sit there lethargically curved over, thinking that you'll create a masterpiece if you're not even standing in front of it ready to. Right, our final shade's coming up. Prepare for this one. Whee! Last but not least, we have our titanium white. Larissa. If I missed your hello before, Larissa, I'm so sorry, and it's absolutely lovely to have you here. Right, there we go. We're going to need to swap off this paintbrush though, simply because it's got purple all through it. So, fresh paintbrush, final tone. The colours are coloristically coloured. Well, that is a very observatory observation. Right, the final shade. So let's go. Alright team, as I add on this final colour, wouldn't it be nice if the final member of crazy little paint crew came out of the woodwork? Or, how cool would it be? How good would it be towards the end of this painting we find those last few subscribers to bring us to our goal? Or we just get to share this wholesome moment together. I love that. Here we go. It goes there. It ended in a draw. Ended in a draw. What ended in a draw? Loving this piece, you always amaze me. Thanks, Larissa. Appreciate that. Touches of the finale. Tiny little highlights. Here we go. Oh yeah, so I've been painting, I've had a paintbrush in my hand since I was about 3, and I've been full-time for about 2 years, and I've been part-time for a number of years before that, and I'm 30 now, but I hate it when singers or artists or dancers say, I've got 10 years, 8 years, 19 years of experience, because the thing about that is it doesn't help you understand how good they are, and it also doesn't help you think that you've got the courage to pursue it yourself. If you're looking at this thinking, I want to become a painter, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, but he's been doing it for 15 years, and you immediately rule out the idea that you could do it. Don't do that to yourself. If you want to become a painter, the biggest barrier that you face isn't time, it's finding your style. For some people, it takes years, decades. They don't find it till much later in life. And your style isn't the unique thing that sells. Your style is the way you paint in which you can make your art and simultaneously be fulfilled and happy. If it's a grueling process, if it beats you, grinds you down, then this is not your style. You are trying to fit a round peg into a square hole, and you are more than what you're currently battling your way through making. So, there we go. And we're done. Let me. Why are artists such fans of gasoline? Because it makes their Thanks, Haunted Nappy. Very funny, by the way. The easel looks like it leaks. Yes, it does. Let me spin this around for you guys. There we go. So, I hope that when we spin this around as well, you can get an idea for the texture in this work. Yeah. See that light on it there? Just make sure it doesn't fall down. See if it captures all the dots in the way they're all spread out there. There we go. And then she's got 2 little legs, so let's make a dance. Ready? There we go. There's your dancing ballerina. Ready? I'm sure she's more coordinated than this in real life, but I'm sorry, this is a serious thing. We've made a serious painting. I'm just a drongo. Right, so that is, I'll take the light off of there. So, with our picture, we've gone from sorrow, which is those darker, more brooding colours, blotchy, smeared, drizzling, and we moved them into joy. And the way we've shown joy is we've got the balance of a lady who's symmetrical here, and we've shown the darker side, which is just pure carbon black, which are the shadows here, orientated to the left, and then the joy being thrown up here, which is the intense splattering of these colours heading off to the right. We chose this theme completely out of the blue. Maybe it was an hour or 2 ago. Crazy Gay Uncle account, he's given us the idea for it. He's told us that this is his theme, and he wanted a person doing it and a theme going from left to right. He let me have the rest of the creative freedom, and I leapt on it as an opportunity to think, this is the ballerina opportunity I've been waiting for the movement, for the craze within it. And I hope, I don't know, but I hope that Crazy Gay Uncle thinks we did it justice, because I think we did something special here. I think this is a unique interpretation on sorrow to joy, and I love the movement within it, and I feel like even now we've added on the joy at the end, I feel like there's still this implication or this existence of, hey, she's spinning or she's moving, and the next moment you see it, she might be in sorrow again, or she might be in more joy, because that's life and we're always on a journey. Who knows where we're going? So yeah, fun. Anyway, Cheryl, you're fantastic. Thank you. Xena, this one here, I haven't put a price on it because I need to frame, things like framing and shipping come into it, but this one here for this size, a frame to go on this. What frame would we use? Ooh, a floating frame. We'll put a floating frame on it with about 1/2 inch gap around the edges, and probably black. Black? Oh, because that would make the whites pop even more, so probably black. But thanks, Guy. And Jade, you've been sneaky here. I didn't see you in there. Good to have you. Oh, Jade just joined. Fair enough. What would you name it? This one here? Crazy Gay Uncle had a name for it. It was From Sorrow to Joy, or there was a name for it that would really convey or invoke thought. Yeah, the easel's hilarious. Anyway, guys, I'm going to hit the track because I need to make dinner. This is our guest painting for today. What an absolute pleasure to put it onto a canvas. MJ, that's a great quote, Jack. Thank you very much. And what's an art? Yep, fair enough. Subtlety. Thanks, Zaina. Ryan, thanks for hanging around, you absolute champion. Larissa, I've got no idea. I've got to thaw some chicken and probably, I've got no idea. I'm going to wing it. I'm going to find out. Maybe a stir fry, something like that. Anyway, guys, if you're waking up, if you're going to sleep, if you're middle of the work day, or if I kept you up late into the night, I'm sorry about that one. Hope you have a good one. Hope you look after yourselves. Thanks for putting up with me. Thanks for joining this wild little painting session. If you want any more links, if you want to subscribe, if you want to join, if you want to follow, if you want to catch replays, everything's in the bio. There's a little link there. Click that, and it'll take you YouTube, Twitter, all the places. Anyway, catch you guys. Bye. And where's the button? This is that awkward little moment where you say bye to someone and then you walk in the same direction down the street, but instead it's me trying to find the finish button. Here we go. Sometimes the screen plays up on me. Bye, guys.